I never put filters on my pictures because I don't want people to meet me in person and go, oh, that's what's really going on there. Beauty is confidence, because if you feel confident, you walk a little taller, you feel good about yourself. I'm Heather Dubrow, and today I'm unfiltered. I'm taking off all of my makeup, all of it, and answering some questions.
Whoever said blondes have more fun hasn't met me.
If someone were meeting me for the first time, well, I think people usually take me as being proper and polite and nice. I think people are surprised, though, that I curse a little bit, like a lot. Sorry, not sorry. I don't mind the word
Oh, a bold choice.
A little sorry. So I grew up in New York. My family's Jewish, and I think what shaped me most was my parents were very 1950s. We didn't tell anyone anything. You know, you keep everything quiet. It was all very cocktail party talk, and everything's perfect. That's so not me. I have diarrhea of the mouth. I'll tell you anything. They weren't huggy kissy like that, and so I think I went completely in the opposite direction. The one thing is my parents were always very, very supportive of everything that I did. They loved my performing. They were very much on board. All I really wanted to do was be on stage. That was my absolute love. My first job was in high school, and I really wanted to go in Manhattan and audition for things, but my mom wouldn't let me. So there was someone local that was doing a series of film strips. Yes, this is how long ago this was. Film strips and videos on note-taking and outlining skills, and I was the star. I ended up going to Syracuse University. I was a musical theater major. And while I was at Syracuse, I won the pageant Miss Syracuse. I can't even believe I'm telling you all this, but I had a very small pageant career, can you imagine? And went to the Miss New York State pageant, where I did not win, but I did win Miss Congeniality. So I was the nicest girl in New York for an entire year. This is true. So now if you think pageants are fixed, I will leave that up to you. Went to Syracuse, graduated there. A friend of the family knew a producer. They were doing Divorce Court down in Florida. So I flew down to Florida and I did 2 episodes of Divorce Court. It was the worst acting ever. It is so bad. I cannot believe that Andy Cohen has never found these tapes to pull out from the vault on Watch What Happens Live, because it's really bad. In one of them, I was like an ex-ballerina, agoraphobic lesbian, and the other one, something else crazy, but I loved it. One of the producers was doing a new series in LA. The show didn't end up going, but here I was in LA, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just try it out here, because I can always go back to New York. I got a job singing at Disneyland at the Golden Horseshoe Jamboree. So I wore this big blonde wig, and I had this one really cool song that I thought was very sexy, and then the higher-ups at Disney had to tell me to tone it down because it was a little too sexy for Disneyland. I proceeded to do all kinds of fun things.
Little girl, if you honk that horn at me one more time, I'm gonna bitch slap you back to your prom.
Whatever. Lots of TV shows, and always just felt like I would be on that track. Of course, somewhere in the middle of all that, I met Terry Dubrow. Terry and I met 22 years ago on a blind date at the Ivy at the Shore. And it was love at first sight for him. Me, not so much. It took me a few months, but he wore me down. And we fell in love, and we dated for, I don't know, about a year and a half, got engaged, we got married. We were married for a few years and decided it was time to start a family. Had some issues with that, ended up doing IVF for the first 3. And then, surprise, Miracle Coco #4. I didn't know this, but if you have sex, you can actually get pregnant. That wasn't in my world, so I didn't know that that was actually an option. And I swear it was a dry spell, so it could be an immaculate conception, I'm not really sure. Anyway, so we have these 4 kids, and, you know, 4 kids in 7 years, you kind of take a step back from your career. I did a pilot every once in a while, or a guest star here and there, but I was really involved with my children. So when this idea of Housewives came up and they called me, I said, no. Terry really wanted me to do the show. He understood the platform that it represented and what it was. And so I finally said, okay, if you need me to do this so badly, I will do this show. And then he was worried. So he showed me a scene from the show. I'll never forget this. I was sitting in our kitchen in the booth.
Okay, first of all, it's none of your business.
And it was this scene where Tamara throws wine on Gina Keogh. And I started laughing. And he ran back in, he goes, why are you laughing? And I go, no, I get this. It's a satire. It's a Christopher Guest movie. I can do this. I'm good. Terry and I went from being a married couple, having a ton of fun, being on television, traveling, doing our thing, to having 4 kids in 7 years, to being thrust into the spotlight. I mean, literally into the spotlight on reality television. That was challenging.
Heather, what is being told about me is hurtful to my kids.
We're done. Please leave.
Okay, wow.
There are so many moments I look back and cringe on, partially because of moronic things I said, he said, I did, he did, we did. You are a jerk.
Honey, come on. I use the D word, divorce.
Don't say that. You know, for every 30 hours we film, 20 minutes makes it to the air. So you can imagine how much content is there that you think is so important that, you know, the editor or the producer doesn't. I hate watching myself on camera. So hard, because I think we're all so hard on ourselves and looking at, you know, shadows and the lighting. It's hard to watch yourself. One thing I did learn is I learned how to put on false eyelashes, because you have to have eyelashes on. You need them at all times. I don't care if you're surfing, if you're jumping out of an airplane, if you're whitewater rafting, if you're ziplining, you must have eyelashes on. Half the time they fall off halfway through the adventure, but you just have to have them. So you have to learn how to do that.
Who is lying, Vicki? Because I'm telling you that someone is lying. It's not me.
I regret moments of Housewives. I regret things that I said. I regret things that I did. But isn't that just true of life in general? I think it's net positive. I didn't understand that it was a platform, but it is a platform. And what it did for my family is immeasurable. I mean, that's the reason Terry is doing Botched. It's the reason I have a podcast and sell books and have a skincare line and a YouTube channel, and everything I do has been because of this really cool platform. I also have to say, you know, despite all the drama and all the craziness, you have fun.
It's a ride and a show. Look.
I had never been on a girls' trip before I went on Housewives. I think the biggest misconception of me is that I have a stick up my ass. But I would like to say something about the text message that you also read on camera that you said was, how did you put it, condescending? And by the way, that was meant to be condescending.
Miss High Superior, you're better than
Well, I'm
anybody.
sorry, it was rude what you did. I think that, especially when I started Housewives and I was so scared of how I was going to come off, I was really closed off and buttoned up, and it's just really not me. I'm a much looser person, and I like to have fun, and I'm not judgmental. I have to say, turning 50 has been interesting. I think a lot of people think that 50 is a death sentence, especially for women in Hollywood. I don't think of it that way. I think that everything that's happened in this first 50 years have been such big life lessons, and I think of 50 as my halftime show. So what I've learned till now, I can take and use for my second half. You know, age is just a number. It's never really bothered me, because I think that if you are in a good place in your life, you're fine. Now, having said that, you know, I'll go to an event and wear sort of a sexier outfit and I'll get comments, you're too old to wear that, or cut your hair, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, do I look into the 100 zoom mirror and go, you know, Terry, maybe like I hate my neck, I don't like these tree trunk lines. You know, I do that. Haven't done it yet. Never say never. I'm really trying to go into this whole thing with the non-surgical approach to anti-aging. So far, so good. A little Botox, not gonna lie, but not too much. I want my kids to know I'm mad at them. I'll tell you that I feel my most confident. Like, I feel more confident in a bikini than I've ever felt. I feel confident walking around without makeup. I just feel confident. I think that's a little bit what age does for you. By the way, which is one reason I never put filters on my pictures, because I don't want people to meet me in person and go, oh, That's what's really going on there. And that's what beauty is. Beauty is confidence. Because if you feel confident, you walk a little taller, you feel good about yourself. It's like when you get an outfit that you love. So it's creating that from the inside out. So many people ask me, what is the secret to a long-lasting marriage? You really have to have a way to connect with each other. Terry and I work together. Is that crazy? I love watching him do his thing, and he loves watching me do my thing. We have our separate careers, but when we can come together and create something together like that, it is so fun. And then, we shop, we eat, we have hotel sex. It's good. How have I evolved? I will tell you that the hopes and dreams of a 25-year-old Heather are much different than a 50-year-old Heather. First of all, I'm incredibly grateful for everything that I have, for my amazing husband, for our healthy, wonderful children, our lives, all of that. I think I feel my most beautiful when I feel my most beautiful on the inside. I mean, yeah, will I get dressed sometimes and look in the mirror and be like, looking good today, having a good day, or a good hair day, or wow, the lashes went on easy? Yes, I have days where I definitely feel prettier than other days. I love when Terry thinks I look hot and all of that. But I think I feel my most beautiful when everything is working, when I feel like I'm looking at my family and sitting around a dinner table and everyone's talking and laughing, and it's just one of those perfect moments that you realize that your world works and that you're doing a good job and they're doing a good job and you've created this incredible family. I think that's when I feel my most beautiful.